Okay, so uh, okay, so in this video, what we are going to do, we are going to create certain charts on our app. So in our previous live stream, what we have done, we have created uh, like published our app on Play Store after like wrapping it up in the capacitor. Now what we need to do, we are going to see some charts, and we are going to use Chart.js, and all the coding which we are going to do over here is going to be like done using the Claude Code. So let me just open the VS Code, and what I'm going to write over here. So I have a new session. Let me just copy it. Let me just put it. Let me just create a new session. What I'm going to see over here is we are adding a report page with spending charts. So we need to see the spending charts, and all is going to be created in our Angular app. So let me just quickly make it visible over here. So let me close these editors and only these files should be shown. And what I'm suggesting, like read Claude.md for our conventions, and read this store. So this is the specific store which we have created. So you see what computer signals already exist. Then tell me what data we already have that's useful for charts. So based on what expense we have available with us, then we are going to use the charts. And what new computer signals we will need to add, and then confirm Chart.js fit our Angular V21 standalone setup or not. So don't write code yet, and just confirm understanding and the plan. So let me just ask it and see what it's going to do, and then we will move forward to see how it's going to come up with the suggested change. So with this being done, let me just move it. Okay, so give me a minute. What I'm trying to do. Okay, so it's taking a while. So you can see some response I received from Claude, and let's see what it's there. So let me just quickly see. So what it says, like it have read the Claude.md file, the store and the expense model. So here is my understanding what it's saying. So data we already have that's useful for chart. So what it says from expense.store.js, the store already exposes computer signal. So it already knows that within the store, if I can quickly show you, let me just go to the source. Within the source, what I'm going for, I'm going for the expense.store.ts file. So within that app, I'm going within the store, and you can see over here. This is the existing store which we are already which we have already created, and we are going to look into this. So you can see certain computer signals are already being used over there. Let's quickly first see what sort of signals are there, and then we can see the computer. So with the state is the initial state. So these are the actual signals that we have. So expenses are there, limits, the selected category. So basically, these are the primary signals that we have. And then we have where the computed based on these expenses, which are actually these signals. So you can see. So based on that, we are using the computed one. So let's just quickly go to the Claude Code and see what it provided us. So data we already have, that's useful for chart. So what it have identified, it knows that the store already possesses computer signal that map clearly onto charts data set. So you can see spend by category. If I can quickly, let me just close other thing, close others, and let me just open this. So this way we do not have any clutter. So spend by category. If I can quickly go and show over here. So with computed methods like do have spent by category. So which is a computer type, and you can see inside that what have been like used based on this this month expenses. It have already been like calculated using this, and this in turn have been calculated on top of the expenses. And expense you can see over here. This is a signal. So let's just go and see. Then it say this is your pie or like Doughnut chart, uh, almost as is. So budget, limit per category, perfect for a chart versus actual bar. And then comes the total. So good for a summary KPI or single state version. Then comes the this month expenses, and expenses. This is going to be again the raw material for any time trend chart. So what it's suggesting, the raw model has this date NF to bucket by day or by month. So it's suggesting a key gap over here. Have the existing computer is spoke to the current month only. So nothing currently supports a multi uh, month or daily trend. So let's just keep that way. And new computer signal we need to add. So it's suggesting some new computer signals to be added. So we all like added to the existing with computed block following the same computed pattern, the existing pattern that we have with us. So it's saying like spend by month across all expenses, monthly trends, line bar. This is the main new one. Then it says the daily spend this month. Then comes the category chart. So based on what we have like over here. So as per Claude, the like chart config object shaping blur should not live in the store. So obviously it is going to be a separate thing. So still store stays pure aggregation. The report components assemble the chart config from these signals. So it's going to be a separate. Then what we have asked from Claude, that does this chart.js fits Angular version 21 standalone? So okay, in the meantime, let me just quickly, if my voice is coming right, so let me just try it and see. The report components assemble the chart config from these signals. So it's going to be a separate. Then what we have asked from Claude, that does this chart.js fits Angular version 21 standalone? So okay, in the meantime, let me just quickly, if my voice is coming right, so let me just try it and see. Okay, so moving forward, what it's suggesting, yes, does Chart.js fit Angular version 21 standalone? Yes, Chart.js is framework agnostic. It renders to plain canvas, no engine module, no dependency on phone. It clearly fits. So you can see the standalone report component, which is going to be lazy loaded via load component in app.route.ts. So what's and then we have a need store signal, build the chart in effect, chart.update when signal changes. So this is exactly the effect for side effect rules, not like drive the state. Then we use view child signal to grab the canvas. So one recommendation which is suggesting, so use plain chart.js, not ng2 charts or anything. Add a wrapper dependency. We don't need an historically lags Angular minor version. So risky on V21. So it's suggesting and it's saying that driving charges directly from an effect is more idiomatic for our signal based setup and keeps the dependency surface small. A couple of things worth confirming before we code, like Pi, Doughnut for categories, bar for budget versus actual. So what it's suggesting, like Chart.js is the go-to thing, and want to verify Chart.js against the current DT cover via the environment before we start or goes to. So yes, verify using the Angular MCP, and then so one thing which I've added, so like it's going to do our verify it from the Angular MCP, and the second thing which I'm going to paste over here. So let me just bring that up if I can get hold of that. So let me just copy that. Let me paste it here. So just wait for a minute. Okay, so we have one second prompt. One thing which I've missed, that as I always keep my prompts over here. So let me just create a new file. This is going to be fixed, and I'm going to call this adding charts to using chart.js. Okay, rather than saying this, adding charts for spending. So let's see. Let me first copy this one, and then I'm bringing the first prompt as well. So let me just paste it over here. So this is going to be the prompt, which I'm going to say. I'll add the description later. First, let me bring the other prompts too. So we can have that prompt in a single place. So let me just bring that first over here. Let me copy that. I'm going to paste it over here. So with this things done, let me just move forward. This was the previous prompt. So I would say this as a initialization or like normal prompt. And this one is going to be the second prompt. So let's just quickly review over here, and then we'll be going. So add the computer signal, the charts means following our existing with computer pattern which we are using within NGRX signal store. Then and as I've already shown you this store. So then what we are requiring, we need monthly totals, like total spending per month for the last 6 months, daily totals, total spending per day for the current month, and then we have the we are going to drive both from the existing express signal. So no new state we are going to add. Show me only the new computer signal before adding them to the file. So that's what I'm asking. So let's see what Claude Code is going to bring to us. And in the meantime, if you're okay, so let's just quickly see. So let's just verify against the Angular MCP. But we are going to wait for, so let me wait for this to get completed. In the meantime, let me see what else I need to figure out.
have
have
this.
this.
It's going
It's
to,
going to
okay.
okay.
So
So
it
it
have
has
completed
completed
that.
that.
Let me
Let me
just
just
remove
move
this
this
one.
one.
Let me just remove
Remove
this.
this.
We are going to go over here. So
So
what
what
does
that
what does
what
it
does it
then?
then?
Because it
Because
have
it have
asked me
asked me
to
to
use the
use the
Angular
Angular
MCP
MCP
server
server
before
before
doing
doing
anything.
anything.
So
So
as I
as
have
I have
already
already
added an
added an
MCP
MCP
server,
server,
so
so
Angular
Angular
version
version
21
21
best
best
practices
practices
guide are
guide are
going to
going to
get
get
used
used
over
over
here.
here.
What I've
What I've
suggested is
suggested is
to
to
use
use
computed
computed
for
for
like
like
live
live
state,
state,
and
and
as I've
as I've
suggested
suggested
to
to
keep
keep
state
state
transformation
transformation
pure and
pure and
predictable.
predictable.
So
So
do
do
not
not
assume
assume
like
like
global.
global.
So
So what
what it's
it's
saying,
saying
like
like
relevant
relevant
informations are
informations
here.
are here.
So
To
use
use
computed for
computed for
driver
driver
state,
state,
keep
keep
state
state
transformation
transformation
pure
pure
and
and
predictable.
predictable.
And
And
what
what
else?
else?
Exactly
Exactly
what
what
these
these
are
are
pure
your
deviation
deviation
from.
from.
So
So
no
no
new
new
state.
state.
So do
So do
not
not
assume
assume
global
global
like
like
new
new
data are
data are
available.
available.
So the
So the
guide
guides
flags
flags
this,
this,
but your
but your
existing
existing
working
workable
computer
unit
already
already
use
use
new
new
date.
date.
New
New
date.
date.
So
So
I'm
I'm
matching your
matching your
established
established
pattern
pattern
per
per
Claude
Claude
MD
MD
rather
rather
than the
than the
generic
generic
guideline.
guideline.
So
So
it's
it's
suggesting
suggesting
what it
what
have
it have
got
got
from the
from the
MCP
MCP
server.
server.
So
So
then it's
then it's
saying
saying
here are
here
the
are the
two new
two new
component
component
signals
signals
only
only
to
to
slot
slot
into the
into the
existing
existing
with
with
computed.
computing.
So
So
and
and
then
then
block
block
along the
along the
current one.
current one.
So
So
you can
you can
see
see
what
what
it's
it's
going to
going
do
to do.
currently.
Currently,
Like
like
it's a
it's a
constant over
constant over
here
here
with the
with the
monthly
monthly
totals,
totals,
which is a
which is a
computed
computed
signal.
signal.
This
This
is
is
again
again
based
based
using
using
a
a
new
new
date
date
constant
constant
of
of
using
using
now
now
and
and
creating a
creating a
bucket,
bucket,
and
and
then
then
using a
using a
for
for
loop,
loop,
and
and
inside
inside
that
that
let's
let's
see
see
what
what
it's
it's
using
using
on
on
the
the
now
now
which we
which
have
we have
created.
created.
It's
It's
trying to
trying to
get the
get the
full
full
date
date
and the
and the
month,
month,
and
and
then
then
it's
it's
going to
going to
push
push
it
it
on the
on the
bucket
bucket
which we
which we
have
have
created.
created.
And what
And what
else
else
it's
it's
using?
using? So
So then
then
it's
it's
going
going
to
to
create a
create a
sudden
certain
index
index
on
on
top of
top of
that.
that.
So
So
this way
this way
it's
it's
calculating
calculating
this
this
monthly
monthly
total.
total.
Moving
Moving
forward,
forward,
what it
what it
have,
have,
like
like
it's
it's
having
having
like
like
daily
daily
total.
total
Again,
again,
it's going
it's
to
going to
create
create
a new
a new
computed
computed
variable
variable,
using this
this
daily
daily
total.
total.
So
So
both
both
add
add
and
and
both
both
get
get
added to
added
the
to the
return
return
object.
object.
So what
So
is
what is
actually
actually
happening
happening
when we
when
are
we are
returning
returning
this
this
object?
object?
So
So
it is
it is
adding
adding
these
these
monthly
monthly
total
total
and the
and the
daily
daily
total
total
over
over
here.
here.
So
So
this is
this is
going to
going to
help
help
us
us
create
create
that
that
uh, chart.
chart.
So
So
let's see
let's see
how it
how it
works.
works.
So
So
no
no
new
new
state is
state
being
is being
added,
added,
zero
zero
filled
full
bucket.
bucket.
So
So
want me
want
to
me to
add
add
these two.
these
So
two. So
let's
let's
just
just
allow it
allow it
and
and
yes,
yes,
and
and
and perform
perform
and
and
yes,
yes,
and I'm
and
going
I'm
to
going to
provide the
provide the
next
next
prompt
prompt
to it
to it
as well
as well
because it's
because it's
going
going
to
to
like
like
add
add
that.
that.
So
So
while
while
it's
it's
say
say
I'm
I'm
having,
having,
let me
let me
just
just
get the
get the
third
third
prompt.
prompt.
So
So
let me
let me
just
just
say
say
yes
yes
first
first
and
and
then we
then
will
we will
go
go
forward.
further.
So
So
with
with
this,
this,
I've
I
just
just
said
said
yes.
yes,
Now
and
let's see
let's see
what
what
happens.
happens.
So it's
So
going
it's
to
going to
edit
edit
this fill.
this field.
I'm
I'm
allowing
allowing
all
all
edits
edits
so it
so
can
it can
perform those
perform those
edits.
edits.
I'm
I'm
allowing
allowing
it
it
to
to
perform
perform
other
other
edits too.
edits too.
In the
In the
meantime,
meantime,
let me
let me
see
see
what
what
files
files
it
it
is
is
changing.
changing.
So you
So
can
you can
see
see
over
over
here
here
in
in
the
the
expenses
expenses
score,
score,
like
like
monthly
monthly
totals it
totals
have
it has
created.
created.
If I
If I
can
can
like
like
let me
let me
just
just
open
open
this up
this up
properly.
properly.
I'm trying to
Trying to
capture
capture
this. It's
this.
not
It's not
working
working
for
for
some
some
reason.
reason.
I'm
I'm
not
not
trying to
trying
do
to do
this,
this.
neither
Than
this.
this.
Let me
Let me
just do
just do
this way.
this way.
Okay,
Okay.
so you
So
can
you can
see
see
computed
computed
signals
signals
have been
have been
created
created
over
over
here.
here.
One
One
is for
is
the
for the
monthly
monthly
total,
total,
and the
and the
second
second
one
one
is for
is
the
for the
daily
daily SQL
total.
total.
And
And
let's
let's
see
see
which
which
existing
existing
computer
computer
signal
signal
or
or
signal
signal
it
it
had
had
used. So
used.
let
So
me
let me
just
just
try to
try to
figure it
figure it
out.
out.
So
So
this
this
month,
month,
this have
this have
used
used
this
this
month
month
expense.
expense.
Let me
Let me
see if
see
I
if I
can
can
go to
go to
this.
this.
This is
This
a
is a
previously
previously
computed
computed
signal
signal
which have
which
been
have been
used. So
used. So
let's
let's
just
just
see
see
and
and
go in
go
the
in the
store.
store.
What
What
else I
else I
can
can
see?
see?
If
If
it has
it has
been
been
asking for
asking for
something
something
else,
else,
let's
let's
just
just
quickly
quickly
see
see
the
the
definition.
definition.
What it
What it
say?
say?
Like it
Like
have
it have
done
done
what it
what
have
it have
done?
done.
It have
It have
added
added
monthly
monthly
totals
totals
and the
and the
daily
daily
totals,
totals,
and
and
both are
both are
computed
computed
signals.
signals.
So
So
for
for
those
those
who are
who
like
are like
watching
watching
and
and
don't know
don't know
what
what
computed
computer
signals are,
signals are,
so
so
basically
basically
computer
computer
signals
signals
are
are
created
created
on
on
top of
top of
signals.
signals.
So
So
whenever
whenever
a
a
signal
signal
is being
is being
modified,
modified,
so
so
these
these
computed
computer
signals
signals
are
are
again
again
recomputed,
recomputed,
and
and
so
so
they
they
get
get
exactly
exactly
reactive
reactive
way
way
in
in
which
which
they have
they have
been
been
automatically,
automatically,
you can
you can
see,
see,
say
say
that
that
updated
updated
based on
based
the
on the
underlying
underlying
signals
signals
on
on
which they
which
are
they are
working.
working.
So
So
inside the
inside the
existing
existing
with
with
computed
computed
block,
block,
so
so
as we
as
are
we are
using the
using the
NGRX
NGRX
signal
signal
store,
store,
so
so
we
we
have
have
within
within
that
that
with
with
computed
computed
function.
function.
If I
If
can
I can
quickly
quickly
show
show
you,
you,
so if
so
I
if I
can
can
go
go
to
through
that
the
file
file
exactly,
exactly,
so
so
you
you
get to
get to
know
know
like
like
what I
what I
was
was
referring to
referring to
with
with
computed
computed
with
with
computed.
computed.
So you
So
can
you can
see
see
they're
they're
like
like
first
first
we
we
have
have
you
we
have
have
with the
with the
state
state
over
over
here,
here,
then we
then
do
we do
have
have
like
like
with
with
computed,
computed,
then
then
we have
we
a
have a
with
with
methods,
methods,
and
and
then we
then we
have
have
with
with
hooks.
hooks.
So
So
I have
I have
explained
explained
each and
each and
everything
everything
in
in
very
very
detail
detail
in
in
my
my
video
video
regarding the
regarding the
NGRX
NGRX
store.
store.
If I
If I
can
can
quickly
quickly
drop
drop
in
in
over
over
here,
here,
and if
and if
someone
someone
needs
needs
to
to
refer to
refer to
that,
that,
I'll
I'll
add the
add the
link.
link.
So
So
rather than
rather than
going
going
into the
into the
much
much
detail,
detail,
you can
you can
think of
think of
like
like
this
this
NGRX
NGRX
signal
signal
store
store
is
is
going to
going to
use
use
with the
with the
state
state
where
where
all the
all the
initial
initial
states
states
are
are
used. So
used.
it
So
is
it is
more of
more
a
of a
initial
initial
state.
state.
You can
You can
see
see
all
all
these
these
signals,
signals,
so
so
like
like
in
in
actual
actual
signals
signals
have been
have been
used,
used,
and
and
then
then
within the
within the
with
with
computed,
computed
what
what
have been
have been
provided,
provided,
you can
you can
see
see
these
these
existing
existing
signals,
signals,
expenses
expenses
limit,
limit,
and
and
selected
selected
category
category
have been
have been
provided,
provided,
and
and
certain
certain
computer
computer
signals have
signals
been
have
like
been like
created over
created
here.
over here.
And
And
one
one
more
more
thing, if
thing,
I
if I
can
can
quickly
quickly
show
show
you,
you,
then
then
comes the
comes the
method.
method.
The
The
thing is
thing is
that
that
when
when
we are
we are
using
using
a
a
store,
store,
so
so
what
what
does a
does a
store
store
do?
do?
A
A
store is
store is
actually
actually
taking
taking
or
or
keeping
keeping
all the
all the
state
state
of
of
our
our
like application
application
inside a
inside a
single
single
place.
place.
So
So
this
this
store
store
is
is
allowing
allowing
the
the
state to
state
be
to be
mutated.
mutated.
What
What
does
does
mutated
mutated
means?
means?
Like
Like
if
if
someone
someone
wants
wants
to
to
change the
change the
expenses,
expenses,
so
so
only
only
using
using
this
this
with
with
methods,
methods,
this
this
can be
can be
changed.
changed.
No
No
one
one
can
can
directly
directly
modify.
modify.
So
So
the
the
benefit
benefit
that we
that
are
we are
going to
going to
get out
get
of
out
it
of
is
it is
that
that
this
this
signal
signal
store
store
is
is
the
the
single
single
place
place
for
for
modification.
modification.
And
Uh,
using
Using
this
this
with the
with the
store, if
store,
I
if
can
I can
quickly
quickly
show you,
show you,
you can
you can
see
see
like
like
save
save
expenses,
expenses,
save
save
limits.
limits.
So
So
even
even
so
so,
these are
these
like
are like
internal
internal
functions,
functions,
and
and
these are
these
the
are the
exposed
exposed
one
ones
like
like
add
add
expense.
expense.
So
So
when we
when we
use
use
those,
those,
so
so
those
those
like
like
methods
methods
are
are
going
going
to
to
modify the
modify the
state
state
of the
of the
store.
store.
So
So
not
not
going
going
further
further
into
into
further
further
detail.
detail.
If
If
you
you
have any
have any
questions,
questions,
so
so
feel
feel
free
free
to
to
leave it
leave it
into the
within the
comments,
comments,
and
and
I'll
I'll
address
address
those,
those,
and I'll
and
try
I'll
to
try to
address
address
those
those
as
as
much as
much
I
as I
can.
can.
And
And
then there
then
is
there
a
is a
with
with
hook,
hook,
which is
which
like
is like
on in
on
it
in it
or
or
on a
on a
store.
store.
So
So
certain
certain
things
things
can be
can be
done
done
right
right
away
away
before
before
the
the
store is
store is
loaded.
loaded.
So
So
this is
this is
quick.
quick.
This is a
This is a
quick
quick
definition
definition
of
of
how
how
NGRX
NGRX
signal
signal
store
store
works.
works.
Now
Now
let's
let's
just
just
see
see
what
what
this
this
Claude
Claude
Code have
Code have
done.
done.
So
So
what it
what it
have
have
done,
done,
it have
it have
added
added
that,
that
next step
next step
ready
ready
the
the
student
student
component.
component.
So
So
what it's
what it's
saying,
saying,
let's just
let's just
quickly
quickly
see.
see.
It have
It have
added
added
two
two
methods
methods
within the
within the within
with
with
computed,
computed,
both
both
exported in
exported
the
in the
rendered
rendered
object.
object.
So you
So
can
you can
see.
see.
So
So
component can
component can
read.
read.
So
So
component
component
can
can
read
read
this
this
like
like
store
store
dot
dot
monthly
monthly
totals
totals
is
is
going to
going to
provide
provide
those
those
monthly
monthly
totals,
totals,
and
and
then
then
the
the
second
second
thing,
thing,
store
store
dot
dot
daily
daily
total
total
can be
can be
provided.
provided.
So
So
with
with
this,
this,
like
like and no new state, which I have already said that don't state add any new state. So no new state is going to be added. Monthly total is going to get derived from the existing signals, which is the actual signal, and the daily total is again reusing another signal which is called this month expenses. Let's just bring the new prompt, and then let me copy the new prompts, and I'm going to. So next step, whatever you ready, the standard report component, like ps.html, it's lazy routing this file and wire has to these signals via an effect. So let me bring up my next prompt. So rather than saying this, how to install, so rather than saying this, so confirm how to import and use chart.js in an AngularJS standalone component. Also, we used to deploy our app to GitHub store. So flag any asset path or config for us before we build, like we did with the PWA transact.js. So I've just refined this prompt, and let me just save it for future reference. Let me just save this over here. I'll be naming this those later. So not this one. Let me just paste it over here. So let's see, based on, I'm going to save this as well, what the Claude Code is going to provide us. So as of now, you can see only the this store is being modified. Nothing else is being changed. And now see what it is going to ask and provide us. So let it complete its task, and then we can further see how it's going to add that. So just give me a minute, and in the meantime, let it install that. So it's taking a while, and then we'll be discussing what feedback Claude Code have provided to us. So based on this live feedback from the Claude Code, we can discuss our further action. So what it says, like chart.js is not yet installed. So as I haven't installed, so it says that it has no chart entry, not yet npm module. I haven't added anything. So it's suggesting that it already knows that I'm on Angular version 21. So here is the confirmation, plus the like deploy version analysis. So what it's going to do, it's going to do like npm install chart.js, which is a requirement for this. Then Chart.js version 4 ships its own TypeScript type. So we do not need to use any specific type or interfaces because it's going to provide its own TypeScript. Previously, when we were trying to import WebAssembly, like the OCR WebAssembly, which we have imported, so for that, because it was not providing any TypeScript types, so like Cloud Code have created certain types for that. I will quickly refer to that if I can like go to that. So let me quickly show that to you. So at least you can follow along with me. If I can figure that out. So not this one. So within the receipt, it might have been modified because we have used capacitor last time, and it might have removed the WebAssembly. Okay, so I'm leaving it for now. We'll refer back to that if we go to that thing. So that's coming back to the thing which we are doing. So we do not need any like type. So it is going to use the existing one. So what does it say? Don't install NG2 charts yet with extra wrapper lags. So it's I'm allowing it to do. Then what it's suggesting, import and using V21 standalone component, as it knows that we are using
version 10.21 with standalone components. So what it's saying, like chart JS, chart 4, JS version 4 is free shakeable. So you must register the pieces you use two-way. Simplest register everything. So and then the linear bundle register only what each charts. So I'm going to ask Claude rather than me because I'm not that much aware of this. So I'll be handing over this to Claude to see which is the best way. Then component wiring that fits our single base rule. So childs for the canvas, effect for the side effect. So canvas mutation is exactly what effect is for. So not drive this yet. So that's we'll see to that later. Not going into detail. And what does it say regarding the GitHub pages? Because we have already mentioned that what we are going to do, we are going to create the GitHub pages. And let me just close this up. Okay. So what it says, the transact JS, which we have previously used for like this voice-based thing. So runtime SFH, so it pulls worker JS, WebAssembly code, and then language train data over the network. So so it's saying that chart.js doesn't need anything. So it's pure JS fully bundled by the. So there is no such thing. So it's saying so. So bottom line for safer for pages than transit was for now runtime. So now want me to install it and scaffold the these components. So this is something which Claude is asking me. So let me see if I might be requiring to add something else to this. Then we can let me just add. So I'm allowing it to perform what it's doing. Yes, go ahead. And I am also providing my second prompt. The reason to provide that is it should not steer away from what we are expecting. So I'm also saying, so and I'm saying and create a report component following our feature pattern. So what patterns which we are using, the standalone, and then what we are doing, we are suggesting inject the score into that report component, use our convention, add a lazy loaded which we have already mentioned, the report path, this report route. For lazy loading who are not aware, if I can quickly show you. So let me just go through the routes within the app. Let me quickly show you where does the yes. Yeah, okay, fine. So when we are using lazy loading, so lazy loading is done using somewhat this way, like load component, and then we are importing this URL, and inside that those respective components have been used. So if we aren't using that, it would be directly loading that path. So with this lazy loading, what is actually going to happen, our bundle size is going to get reduced. If we do not use lazy loading, all the things are going to get loaded at once in a single go, because the library, if I will be quickly showcasing you the list or something, you can see there are multiple chunks over here. So when lazy loading is being used, so these chunks are being created, and once this component is being required, then it's loaded from the like Angular is going to load that. But in case if we are not using the lazy loading, it is going to create a single file with an index. So you might be looking and getting a bigger JS file. So this is the reason it's being suggested to use this lazy loading thing, because most of the time people do not require each and everything to be looked at right away. In case if a user wants to see the dashboard only, so there is no need to have the admin page related JS to be loaded. So I'm very hopeful that you are able to follow along with me. If you have any questions or anything, feel free to ask, and so I can keep explaining the things in a more elaborate manner. So you can put it inside the chat if there is any question. So then comes the reports route and a report tab link matching our other pages. So empty page with just a report heading for now. Show me the files. So we are restricting. It's going to install the like Chart.js, then scaffold the this component. So we are restricting. Just create an empty page for now. So let's see what it's going to do. Let's just wait a while. And so in the meantime, if you have any comment or anything want me to elaborate anything around the app which we are developing, feel free to leave a comment in the chat so I can bring you more up to date to what we are doing, and it would be a good journey to follow along. So with this, still the Claude Code is doing certain thing. Let me see what is actually happening. So wait for a while. So okay, it's taking a while. So don't worry, it will be quick. Okay. So
So
what
what
we
we
have
have
done
done
in the
in the
meantime,
meantime,
as
as
I've
I've
asked
asked
it
it
to
to
what
what
does
does
it
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 what
have
it have
done.
done.
So
So
a
a
file
file
stream
stream
what
what
I've
I've
created and
created and
changed
changed
matching your
matching your
existing
existing
feature
feature
pattern.
pattern.
So
So
it have
it have
created
created
a
a
report.ts.
report.ts.
So
So
now we
now
can
we can
quickly
quickly
see
see
to that.
that.
So
So
you can
you can
see
see
this
this
report.ts
report.ts
is
is
over
over
here,
here.
and
And
what it
what it
have
has
created, if
created,
I
if
can
I can
quickly
quickly
hover,
go over,
so you
so
can
you can
see
see
a
a
feature
feature
within
within
the
the
reports
reports
is
is
being
being
added
added
over
over
here,
here.
and
And
then
then
it have
it have
also
also
added up
added up
the
the
reports
reports
HTML.
HTML.
So
So
as I
as I
just
just
mentioned,
mentioned,
to
to
create a
create a
single
single
report,
report,
so it
so
have
it have
done the
done
same
same
thing.
thing.
So
So
created
created
that,
that,
the
the
component is
component is
there.
there.
What
What
else
else
is
is
being
being
added?
added?
So
So
let's
let's
just
just
see.
see.
Then the
Then the
created
created
is
is
here,
here.
so you
So
can
you can
see
see
empty
empty
page,
page,
just the
just the
heading in
heading in
your
your
wrapper,
wrapper,
what we
what
have
we have
just
just
mentioned.
mentioned.
What it
What
have
it have
modified?
modified?
app.routes.js.
App.routes.js.
So
So
quickly
quickly
see
see
what's
what's
being
being
modified.
modified.
You can
You can
see
see
uh,
uh,
reports
reports
being
being
a
a
path
path
is being
is being
added,
added,
and
and
again
again
it's
it's
lately
lately
loaded.
loaded.
So
So
with
with
that,
that,
and
and
what
what
else
else
being
being
added
added
over
over
here
here
in the
in the
app,
app?
so
So
a
a
link
link
is
is
going to
going to
get
get
added
added
on
on
this.
this.
So
So
we'll see
we'll
to
see to
that
that
later.
later.
So
So
what it
what it
says,
says,
modified
modified
this,
this,
added the
added the
lazy
lazy
reports
reports
route
routes
right
right
after the
after the
budget,
budget, and
we have
we have
already
already
seen,
seen.
and
And
no
no
bars
bars
at
at
this
this
point of
point of
time
time
because
because
it
it
will
will
be
be
it
it
should be
should be
accessible
accessible
without
without
logging in.
logging in.
And it
And
have
it have
also
also
modified
modified
a
a
nav
nav
link
link
after
after
budget,
budget,
so
so
identical
identical
styling
styling
somewhat
somewhat
similar
similar
to
to
which we
which we
have.
have.
And
And
what it
what it
says,
says,
I
I
kept
kept
standalone
standalone
true,
true,
and
and
reports
reports
component
component
needed to
needed to
match your
match your
existing
existing
component
component
style. So
style. So
what we
what
have
we have
said,
said.
so
So
it
it
wants me
wants
to
me
run
to run
because,
because,
but I
but I
know that
know that
it's going
it's
to be
going to
very
be very
simple
simple
and an
and an
empty
empty
page. So
page.
I'm
So
not
I'm not
asking it
asking it
to
to
move
move
further.
further.
And let
And
me
let me
see
see
if
if
I
I
have
have
added
added
this
this
one
one
over
over
here.
here.
So
So
let me
let me
just
just
paste
paste
this
this
so
so
we
we
can
can
further.
further.
Let let me
Let me
just
just
close
close
this.
this.
What
What
else?
else?
So
So
let me
let me
just
just
move to
move
the
to the
next
next
prompt.
prompt.
So
So
what I'm
what I'm
going
going
to
to
bring up
bring up
now.
now.
So
So
let me
let me
just
just
add
add
this
this
prompt,
prompt to
new
new
prompt over
prompt over
here.
here.
So
So
I'm going
I'm
to
going to
paste the
paste the
same
same
over
over
here,
here,
and we
and you
want me
want
to
me to
run
run
the
the
from
from
the.
the.
So
So
what
what
I'm
I'm
suggesting
suggesting
over
over
here,
here,
like
like
let me
let me
just
just
paste it
paste it
first.
first.
Go
Go
up
up
over here.
over here.
So
So
now
now
render
render
three
three
charts in
charts
the.
in the.
What
What
I'm
I'm
asking
asking
it
it
Claude
Claude
Code to
Code
do
to do
in the
in the
report
report
page
page
which we
which
have
we have
created, you
created,
can
you can
see
see
this
this
reports
reports
features
features
like
like
page
page
have been
have been
added.
added.
So
So
what I'm
what I'm
saying,
saying,
add
add
like
like
three
three
charts in the
charts in the
report,
report,
each
each
in
in
its
its
own
own
card
card
with a
with a
title.
title.
So you
So
can
you can
see a
see a
title is
title
going
is
to
going
get
to get
added.
added.
So it's
So it's
pending by
pending by
category.
category.
So
So
this is
this is
going to
going
be
to be
a
a
Doughnut
Doughnut
using
using
spend by
spend by
category.
category.
Then
Then
we are
we are
going to
going to
have a
have a
bar
bar
chart
chart
using
using
monthly
monthly
total,
total, and then we are going to have a daily spending this month. So line chart. So with this and what requirements use chart.js as we have already confirmed, then chart must upgrade reactively when the store signal changes. We'll see to that. Handle the empty state gracefully when there is no data. Use our brand colors where sensible. And the third thing is clean up chart instances properly to avoid duplicates or re-render. So let me just ask Claude Code to do this and see what is going to happen. So just wait for a while and we will be all done with creating this. So it's taking a while and let it comes up. In the meantime, those who have joined, so if there is any question, feel free to leave it in the comment. So I can address that and you can follow along with me while watching this stream. Basically, what we are doing, we are adding some spending charts in our Angular app using Claude Code, and Claude is we are guiding Claude Code to add certain features which you have already added. Then we have asked it to modify the expenses store, and now we are asking it to add three separate charts. So that's what I'm doing. Let's see how it's going to bring up. If you have any questions, so feel free to leave it within the chat so I can try addressing that. I'm very hopeful that you are able to follow along with me. So what share what this? Okay, so it's still working. It says that this Chart.js code is installed in the package.json. So one more thing it has modified over here. You can see like previously, capacitor have been added in our last stream, and now what we have added, we have added chart.js. So with this chart.js being added, even the log.json is keeping the track of the exact number. So with this, let's just see what else we are going to run and what else. Existing curve constraints. So I'll build a small pad in our band. So it's suggesting, and let's see if it's completed or not. So let's just quickly review what it has provided. So it says that report.ts is written in type clean. So here's how it meets each requirement. Chart registered checkably only the three controllers, element, scale, creative, legend we use, and exec name confirmed no registered like bulk import. Then the reactive updates as we have already suggested, like in case any signal or any expense, if I would be like saying it in a user term, if any expense is going to be modified, so based on that, it's going to get like these charts updated accordingly. So one effect per chart, it has created that. It's going to create each need its own its store signal. So as the store signal is have been created, and what it says, what it does, its canvas reference. So when the store changes, the effects rerun and call this chart dot update. So based on that, this is going to call and mutates data in place rather than recreating. Smooth or no flicker. So we'll see to that. Then the effects from pattern, as we have mentioned in the plot.md. Then comes the empty state. We have said plot that like figure out regarding this empty state to be like held like cleanly. So what it says, has computed data, has monthly, and these have been like these are the computed signals. So the template will use this if these to show a message instead of a canvas. So instead of a like empty canvas, what we are going to get shown, we are going to get shown a message like there is no data. Note the daily expenses are zero, by exam, so empty means all totals are zero. So then the rebrand color it have used, then a cleanup, no duplicates, three guards. So it says
and I'm going to quickly to see how it's going to create, and then we'll be reviewing the code. So approve it, and I'll template three cards. So let me see if I have anything else to say to it. So then we will move to the next part. So yes, and so let's just approve it. So I'm assuming that it's going to create all this now. And once we have all these created, so let me just quickly see. I'm awaiting Claude Code to do this. It's still creating, and then we'll be asking it to run the server for us, and then, as usual, we will be pushing this up on the like GitHub pages. So Bill succeeded, and it has created this report.html. So let me see what have been created, or it have been modified, and this report have been modified. So rather than just reviewing code first, I would prefer to see. So want me to research so you can see the time on stream and some. So yes, do open the server. Should we run the server? Don't do anything else and be quick. So the reason I'm suggesting this because this is a simple task, and at times Claude Code take too much to do this. Let's see if it's going to run exactly what I've asked for, because I just want it to run, and I don't want to intervene and do anything on my own. So I'm expecting it to bring this, and okay, let me just bring it up. So seems like it's not still working. The reason is that I need to go to the application, manifest, service worker, see all registration. The reason is that the previous like codes, or okay, so this have been added over here. So I was looking at a wrong place. So you can see, like without doing anything. So it have added the report. I was expecting, or planning to create it within the dashboard. I will move it later. But you can see we have a proper report being added over here, and it's going to be, I anticipate it's going to be clickable too. So with this chart.js, what we have done, spending per chart, you can see the mostly things have been added on the other. And if I hover on top of that, so you can see 4,400 have been added, 3,000 on shopping, food have been like 1,500 and this, and monthly total. You can see it's running the monthly total. I have added some like totals over here in the month of May and June. Let's just quickly see if it's pulling the records right. So let's just go to the dashboard, or within the expenses. So you can see certain are 1 week ago. And if I quickly go to the others, let me just go for the food, or 1 week ago. And if I go to the other, or 1 week ago. Seems like it's a bit off. I don't know why it's bringing up the total from my. So seems like I'll ask it to rectify. And it's also provided some daily spending this month. So I need to ask like monthly total, monthly total seems a bit miscalculated.
calculated, what did I calculated
calculated
as
as
I
I
do
do
not
not
have
have
that
that
much
much
expense.
expense.
So
So
see to
see to
it
it
and
and
rectify.
rectify.
So
So
I'm
I'm
just
just
asking it
asking it
and
and
let
let
me
me
see
see
what it
what it
brings up.
brings up.
Uh,
Um,
then
then
it's
it's
going
going
to
to
restart the
restart the
server
server
for
for
us,
us.
and then we
Then
will
we will
be
be
doing
doing
creating
getting
this.
this.
So
So
let's just
let's
see
just see
what it
what it
brings up.
brings up.
It
It
might
might
not
not
have the
have the
access to
access to
these.
these.
These
These
are
are
being
being
saved in
saved
the
in the
local
local
storage.
storage.
So
So
if
if
it
it
requires
requires
some
some
further
further
instruction,
instruction,
I'll
I'll
be
be
sharing it
sharing it
for
for
that
the
like
like
storage,
storage,
local
local
storage thing.
storage thing.
So
So
let's see
let's see
how it
how it
brings up.
brings up.
Uh,
Uh,
I
I
don't
don't
know
know
what is
what is
going to
going to
happen
happen
and
and
how.
how.
So it's
So it's
still
still
working.
working.
Uh,
Uh,
so it's
it's
reading the
reading the
data.ts
data.ts
and
and
what
what
else
else.
I do. So
So
let me just
just
quickly
quickly
see
see
which
which
file
file
it's just
it's
trying
trying
to
to
delete.
delete.
Add
Add
and data
data
expense.ts.
expense.ts.
So
So
seems
seems
like
like
it
it
might
might
be
be
using
using
these
these
expenses
expenses
from
from
over
over
here.
here.
So
So
I
I
need
need
to
to
tell
tell
it
it
don't
don't
use
use
this
this
expense.data.ts.
expense.data.ts.
So I
So I
got
got
it.
it.
So
So
don't
don't
use
use
the
the
data
data
from
from
expense.data.ts.
expense.data.ts.
The
The
application
application
is
is
using
using
local
local
storage
storage
to
to
pull
pull
the
the
expenses.
expenses.
So
So
I'm
I'm
just,
just
and if
if
need
need
be,
we
comment
comment
this
this
file
file
out
out
to
to
avoid
avoid
any
any
future
future
annoyance.
annoyance.
So
So
let's see
let's see
what it's
what
going
it's
to
going to
bring up.
bring up.
What it's
What it's
going to
going to
bring
bring
up.
up.
So
So
what it
what it
said
said
that
that
so the
so the
bar
bar
where is
where is
pursued
pursued
if
if
the
they
key is
is
hold
hold
there.
there
So hold
hold
by
my
data
data
the
the
chart
chart
correctly.
correctly.
So
So
it
it
checks
checks
that the
that the
chart
chart
is
is
correct.
correct.
So
So
I'll be
I'll be
reviewing it
reviewing it
again,
again.
and if
If
need
need
be,
be,
I'll
I'll
be
be
like
like
making
making
this
this
seed
seed
file
file
being
being
disabled.
disabled.
So you
So
can
you can
see
see
like
like
it
it
have
have
modified
modified
that
that
and
and
everything
everything
have been
have been
commented over
commented over
here.
here.
So
So
with
with
this
this
being
being
done,
done,
the
the
chart
chart
is
is
correct,
correct,
everything
everything
is
is
correct.
correct. So
So you want me to
want me
go
to go
reset
reset
data
data
button
button
somewhere
somewhere
or
or
have the
have the
settings?
settings?
No,
No,
I don't
don't
want
want
any
any
reset.
reset.
No,
No,
and
and
rerun
rerun
the
the
server,
server
or
or
if
if
it's
it's
running,
running
do
to
share
share
the
the
URL here.
URL.
So,
So,
but I'm
but I'm
asking
asking
it
it
like
like
I've
I
just
just
asked
asked
the
the
URL
URL
again,
again,
and
and
it's
it's
going
going
to
to
bring
bring
up
up
what
what
it's
it's
going to
going to
bring up.
bring up.
It's
It's
going to
going to
bring up
bring
the
up the
reports,
reports,
and
and
I
I
anticipate
anticipate
that
that
no,
no,
still
still
the
the
my
main
data
data
is
is
showing
showing
up.
up.
So I
I
need to
need to
see
see
what
what
expenses
expenses
are
are
there.
there.
Um,
Um,
so
so,
okay,
okay.
so
So
seems
seems
like
like
I'll
I'll
review
review
this
this
on my
on my
own.
own.
later seems correct, but the thing is that what we have achieved in today's live stream, that I'll be quickly reviewing the files. What it have done, it have added the chart.js file over here, version 4.5. Then what it have done, it have created a report TS for that feature. So this is the feature, and this is the actual TS file, which where it have imported the expenses store, which is going to be used, and then it have imported the chart and the bar control and everything which it requires. Then it have registered the chart. So chart.register. Then what it does, it used a specific brand color, the category color. I mean, it have selected on its own. Then it started creating the component, and the report component is there. What it does, we have asked it to inject the expenses code, and it have done that. So store have been injected. Now anyone like on every line, it can be used. So you can see this expenses store is been injected over here. So with using this dot store dot this, so these are basically the computed signals which have been accessed, and with this, so you can see internal internally like empty state flags have been used internally. So these have been created once the total is greater than zero. So it's going to show that there is some data. Then comes the canvas related thing. So you can see view child for HTML canvas. It have used that. Then the constructor is there. Within the constructor, effects have been created. And what else? So this have been created so far. I'm not going into too much detail. We have already discussed this expenses store thing. HTML file have added all these canvases over here. Our this data.ts, which we have asked it to comment. It have been commented. Lazy loading have been added, and app.html have been modified. So what I'm going to do is I'm asking it to like create a new feature branch, but get an approval from me before creating by showing its name, and then commit everything there. So I'm asking it to create a feature branch, and it's going to create a feature branch. So what we have done, it's reports chart, spending chart. So I'll keep it report chart, and I'm going to submit that. So it's going to create this branch, and it's going to push all the data. One thing I'm anticipating, it is going to add all the git message to that as well. So let me just so it has published the branch. So nothing pushed. So what we push on open, yes. So what it's going to do, it's going to push, and then it's going to create a PR, so which I'm going to merge in the main. So let it now open the PR. So let's just see. Yes, I'm going to allow it. Okay, type PowerShell. So what I've done, I have pushed the code, and it has created PR. So let me just open the PR. I'm going to bring it over here. So you can see the branch which I have said to it have been created, pushed,
and now I'm going to create this like pull request, and you can see all the changes like installation of Chart.js and like this new lazy loaded route, the report component, everything have been added over here. So let me just create the pull request, and I'm going to merge it. So let me just confirm merge.
Let me
Let
just
me just
close
close
this.
this.
Okay.
Okay.
Also
So
pull
pull
the
and
also
also
pull
pull
the
the
PR
PR
as I
as I
have
have
merged
merged
it and switch
switch
to
to
main
main
branch.
branch.
So you
So
can
you can
see
see
this
this
feature
feature
branch
branch
is
is
being
being
highlighted over
highlighted over
here.
here.
And once
Once
it is
it is
going to
going to
switch to
switch
the
to the
main
main
branch,
branch,
so it's
so
going
it's
to
going to
check
check
out the
out the
main
main
branch.
branch,
So it
so
will
it
be
will be
shown as
shown
a
as a
main
main
over
over
here.
here.
So
So
let's
let's
see
see
how
how
this is going
it's
to
going to
work.
work.
And it's
It's
taking a
taking a
while.
while,
So
so
bear with
bear
me.
with me.
So
So
it's
it's
want me
want me
to
to
do
do
that.
that,
So
so
it's
it's
going
going
to
to
install
install
the
the
GitHub
GitHub
CLI.
CLI,
So
so which
it have
it have
installed.
installed.
And the
And the
second
second
thing
thing
is
is
going
going
to
to
define
define
what
what
else it's
else it's
going to
going to
HTML delete.
delete.
Now
Now
it's
it's
merged.
merged.
Leave
Leave
it.
it.
I want to leave
Leave
this
this
locally.
locally.
Leave
Leave
it.
it.
And
And
on
on
main
main
do
do
while while
while
it is staying
staying
on
on
main
main
branch,
branch.
do
Do
create
create
the
the
build
build
for
for
GitHub
GitHub
pages
pages
as
as
per
per
plot.md.
plot.md.
So
So
it's
it's
going
going
to
to
do
do
that.
that.
And
And
what it's
what
going
it's
to
going
do,
to do,
it's
it's
going
going
to
to
create
create
that.
that,
And let's
and let's
just
just
quickly
quickly
see
see
what it's
what
going
it's
to
going to
do
do
and how
and
it's
how
going
it's
to
going
do.
to do.
So you
So
can
you can
see
see
these
these
chunks
chunks
have been
have been
created.
created.
And
Uh,
I'm
I'm
going
going
to
to
move
move
forward
forward
with
with
this.
this.
Let me
Let me
just
just
set a
set a
flag
flag
into
into
that,
that,
and I
and
would
I would
anticipate,
anticipate,
yes,
yes,
I'm
I'm
aligned
aligning
that.
that.
So
So
verification,
verification,
want me to
want to
push the
push the
doubts to
doubts
the
to the
GitHub,
GitHub,
leave it
leave it
with the
with
yes.
yes.
So
So
it's going
it's
to
going to
push.
push.
So
So
let's see
let's see
what's going
what's
to
going to
happen,
happen.
and we'll be
We'll be
then
then
reviewing
reviewing
our
our
published
published
GitHub
GitHub
page.
page. So
So it's
it's
finished.
finished.
So
So
let me
let me
just
just
open the
open the
page,
page,
and let me
and let me
just
just
remove
remove
that.
that.
So
So
it is
it is
going to
going to
bring up
bring up
the
the
old
old
thing,
thing,
because
because
which is
which is
one
one
more
more
thing
thing
which I'm
which
going
I'm
to
going to
do
do
after all.
after all.
Uh, Let me
Let me
just
just
unregister
unregister
this.
this.
Uh, it will be
It will be
taking us
taking
some
us some
time.
time.
It's
It's
not
not
yet.
yet.
So let
So
me
let me
just
just
check it
check
up
it out
in the
in the
GitHub.
GitHub.
Within the
In the
GitHub,
GitHub,
it's
it's
still
still
like
like
pending.
pending.
So let
So let
me
me
see the
see the
details,
details.
if it's
If it's
done or
done or
not.
not.
Let me
Let me
go
go
back.
back.
Seems
Seems
like
like
it's
it's
deployed.
deployed.
So
So
let me
let me
just
just
try
try
refreshing
refreshing
this.
this.
It's
It's
still
still
not
not
working.
working.
Let
Let
me
me
go to
go to
the
the
GitHub.
GitHub.
Seems
Seems
like
like
it's
it's
being
been
deployed,
deployed,
but
but
for
for
some
some
reason,
reason,
let me go
go
and do one
one
thing.
thing,
Let me go to
go to
this
this
link. What I
what I
need to
need to
do,
do,
let me just
just
do open
open
to F12
after
and
and
unregister
register
this.
this.
Let me
I
just
just
close
close
this,
this,
try
try
refreshing
refreshing
this.
this.
Let me close this again, open it
And
over here. So you can
so you can
see
see
the
the
reports
reports
are
are
here
here
on
on
this
this
URL.
URL.
So I'm
So
going
I'm
to
going to
share
share
it
it
within the
within the
chat.
chat.
If
If
you
you
want
want
to
to
see
see
it
it
yourself,
yourself,
let me
let me
just
just
copy
copy
this.
this.
Let me just
Just
click it
click
up,
it up
not over here because
because
I
I
have it
have it
installed
installed
as
as
EWA,
EWA,
so
so
it's not
it's not
bringing up
bringing up
the
the
proper
proper
URL.
URL.
So let
So let
me
me
open it
open it
over
over
here.
here.
Expense
Expense
tracker.
tracker.
Let me just
Just
open
open
it.
it.
Not
Not
working
working
over
over
here.
here.
The reason
Reason
again,
again,
the
the
same
same
thing.
thing.
Seems
Seems
like
like
it's not
it's not
properly
properly
registered.
registered.
Let me unregister
Registered.
and try
Try
refreshing
refreshing
it.
it
For
for
some
some
reason,
reason.
it's
It's
not
not
yet
yet
registered.
registered.
Control Shift no. Then
Then
I'm
I'm
expecting.
expecting.
Okay. For
For
some
some
reason,
reason,
it's
it's
not
not
picking up
bringing up
the
the
latest
latest
things.
things.
I need to do it once
Once
again.
again.
Okay. I think open
Open
an
an
app
app
and still
still
the
the
app
app
is
is
working with
working
the
with the
old
old
one.
one.
So
So
let me just
just
register.
register.
If I
If I
can get
get
hold of
hold of
this.
this,
So uninstall
uninstall
this as
this
well.
as well.
Remove app
App
data.
data,
Not
not
this.
this.
Just
Just
uninstall
uninstall
this.
this.
And then
Then
come
come
the
the
expense
expense
tracker.
tracker.
Not
Not
this one.
this one.
On the
That
GitHub
gives an
IO
IO
page.
page.
Expense
Expense
tracker.
tracker.
This one.
This one.
I
I
just
just
seen
need
that
that
for
for
some
some
reason
reason
it's
it's
still
still
not
not
showing up.
showing up.
Let me open it
Open
into incognito
incognito
to
to
see
see
if it
if it
works
works
there
there
or
or
not.
not.
So let me just go
Go
to
to
that.
that.
You can
You can
see
see
in
in
within
within
incognito
incognito
it's
it's
working.
working.
So
So
it's
it's
working
working
here
here
because
because
within
within
incognito
incognito
there is
there
no
is no
data,
data,
so it's
so it's
showing
showing
this way.
this way.
So
So
let me
let me
just
just
try
try
hard
hard
refreshing
refreshing
it
it
on
on
my
my
local
local one.
control. So let me just
Just
try
try
this.
this.
For
For
some
some
reason,
reason,
it's
it's
still
still
picking up
picking up
the
the
old one.
old one.
So let me try
So I'm
unregistering
registering
this
this
again.
again.
Let me see
See
if I can
if I can
unregister
register
it.
it.
Then it
Then it
brings up
brings up
something
something
or
or
not.
not.
So let
So
me
let me
try to
try to
figure it
figure it
out.
out.
It's
It's
activated.
activated.
So
So
let me
let me
just
just
try
try
starting
starting
it.
it.
Network request.
First,
So seems
seems
like
like
all these. So one more
one
thing,
thing.
if I
If I
can
can
see
see
over here. So if I can I'm thinking to
to
somehow
somehow
hard
hard
refresh it,
refreshing,
but
but
it's
it's
still
still
not
not
doing
doing
that.
that.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
for the
for the
time being,
time being,
I'm
I'm
leaving it
leaving it
and I'm
and I'm
going to
going to
open
open
it
it
inside the
inside the
incognito,
incognito,
which is
which is
working
working
fine.
fine.
And
And
for
for
some
some
reason,
reason,
the
that
like
like
files have
files
been
have been
cached.
cached.
So
So
if
if
the
the
report
board
is
is
empty
empty
over
over
here,
here,
so
so
this is
this is
going to
going to
give
give
us a
us a
good
good
thing.
thing.
And what
And
we
what
are
we
going
are
to
going
do,
to do, we are going to add an expense. So let's just add a food expense. Let's say try logging in first because without that it's not going to allow us to add any expense. So I am going to add, so let's just say any vegetable. So let's just for tomato, 100 rupees is going to be spent over here. So let's just save it. Uh, Now let's quickly see if it's being stored. So within the store, so you can see quickly the food 100 rupees being spent, and it's only showing it on this month, and this is some with the spending. So you can see it's creating a spending chart based on the date and the like amount. So if I add something else, so if I add I expense, let's say 1,000 rupees or something, 1,000 for I would say medicine. So let's just call this health, and then this is expense, and it's going to show up here. Seems like it's not being loaded. Let me just load the all one. So medicine being added, and if I go to report, so I'm very hopeful that you are able to follow along with me. So feel free to leave a comment if you think something needs to be added or further needs to be improvised or mentioned. So everything have been pushed on the like GitHub link. So I'm going to share it in the uh, like let me just share it over here. By GitHub here. Uh, I'm about to close the stream, so you can see you can get this repo from it over here. I'm sharing it within the chat. You can get the chat and also the link of the app. You can get that as well. So the copy link. Let me just save link as open link with new tab. So I'm hopeful it might show up as uncached at your side. And what else? So I think we are done with this, and we will be further improvising this build. So thanks for watching till here. So stay tuned for the next upcoming updates, which I'll be working on shortly. So thank you. Thanks for your time. Bye.